And not only is Elon Musk blaming his predecessors for suppressing information, he's also going so far as to claim that the board's decision to suppress the New York Post reporting impacted the 2020 election.
It's just obvious that there's been a lot of controlled information, suppression of information, including things that affected elections.
More on this, we're joined by Vince Coglianese, host of the Vince Coglianese Show, and University of Maryland lecturer and strategist Jason Nichols. Jason, I'm going to ask you first. According to a Pew Research poll, less than a quarter of Americans are actually on Twitter. So this debate, I mean, obviously this impacts a lot of people, but is it more impactful to the elections or to individuals?
Yeah, I don't think that this would have swayed an election any more than, say, the Karen McDougal story that was a catch and kill in order to help Donald Trump in 2016 would have changed the results of the election. What we did see from Taibbi's report is that there was no government involvement. I remember I used to watch this Daily Caller podcast with these two guys, and one of the things that kept coming up is how involved was the deep state, and the deep state clearly was not involved in this. This was not some sort of big conspiracy. You saw, as you reported, that Ro Khanna, who described himself as a Biden partisan, questioned the Twitter decision as well. And there was nothing new that came out of Taibbi's report. And I respect Matt Taibbi, but Yoel Roth said that these were decisions that were made, and they were made erroneously. And, you know, as far as big tech, it was interesting. Conservatives used to talk, there used to be bipartisan kind of support for breaking up big tech. But now, all of a sudden, that Elon Musk has taken over Twitter, you never hear them talk about breaking up big tech anymore. And we know also from Ruman Chaudhry that the Twitter algorithm actually benefits conservatives. So I think that this is just a lot of belly aching, and it did not come out to be. Even some conservatives like Seb Gorka have come out and said that this was not the bombshell that they were expecting. I think this is kind of a nothing burger.
What about you, Vince? Same question for you.
I love my buddy Jason Nichols, and I got to say, this time Jason may be mistaken on a number of issues. One of them is the involvement of what he refers to as the deep state. So Yoel Roth, who was the head of site integrity for Twitter, just announced in a deposition recently that the FBI was having weekly meetings with him. And in those meetings, they had suggested that there was going to be a hack and leak operation that could involve Hunter Biden in the lead up to the election. Sure enough, that's precisely what they claimed was the basis for removing this story from the internet. The result of the Taibbi reporting this week demonstrates that there were frequent requests from what they say was the Biden team, although they also got requests from the Trump White House to take a look at content and potentially remove it from Twitter. That is, as a basic matter, not a partisan one, not something that social media network should be engaged in on behalf of political actors. Additionally, they had routine emails from the DNC making requests for the removal of content from anonymous users as well as celebrities. You had Twitter not just shut off access to the New York Post story, they shut off access within direct messages for people to share the New York Post story, a measure that they only use typically for child pornography. That's how out of control this was. And lastly, I want to end with a point that Jason began with, the idea that this would not have influenced the election. Recall, going into the 2016 election, that James Comey announced that they were reopening an investigation into Hillary Clinton, and then he quickly wrapped it up. There are claims from then until now that action did have an impact on the election. So if you foreclose the ability for the American people to see a story of interest involving an American political candidate, you can have influence, and it goes a lot further than any claim of Russian interference ever did from 2016 on.
Vince, I want to ask you about this transparency that Musk, he's endeavoring to make the platform more transparent. Is this the right way to do it? Is it to speak about these stories where we're still getting other information, have independent journalists weigh in with terms that are currently unknown?
I am for transparency. I'm confident Jason is as well, especially when it involves government and influence operations involving our republic. So I saw someone suggest the other day that we shouldn't have to wait for 4 years or 2 years or any amount of time to find all of this out, that there should be some sort of standard in the industry that if government actors are requesting censorship of American citizens, that we can find out, maybe not immediately given news events, but maybe a couple weeks away. So just make it a routine habit to share the efforts the government is undertaking to try and encourage censorship on these private companies.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.